I was actually here already last year. Last year was my first year at the university in general, and it was my first year of summer research. So I was kind of just looking around, seeing what different possibilities were for a bioinformatician at the school in terms of research. And this was actually the last lab that I saw on my visits through Bioinformatics Club, because we have these little introductions to every kind of facet of bioinformatics. And then so I just really enjoyed it. And then I was the last bioinformatics student also to not have a position yet, so it was just a really opportune time for me. And I was basically the only person that was in the lab last year. And I worked on my project, the Giant Walk-Through Gut. So initially the project, it kind of just came out of a conversation that I had with Dr. Jacob about what I was interested in, and I was really interested in body systems, and I had seen the previous project, the Giant Walk-Through Brain, and that one really enticed me. I didn't actually have an inclination towards the digestive system out of all the systems at the beginning, but it just made sense in terms of a program, because all the organs a part of the system were unique and different from each other, and they all had their own stories to tell. The ability to use Unreal Engine with my project was really a great opportunity, because I had never seen a game engine or even heard of Unreal Engine before then. Once I got started with it, it was just a really natural progression. I started with a video component of my project because the VR headsets hadn't come in, so that one was just a narrative of me explaining the different parts of the digestive system and how they all work together. And then afterwards, once the VR headset came, then I worked on the VR component, which was using the HTC Vive. And in Unreal Engine, you can use blueprint editing to modify everything and code in a visual manner. And then also at the end, I did a desktop version and converted the VR one so that it was friendly for just a keyboard user. I think the biggest success I had this year was a lot of problem solving in terms of the actual code for my program. So I implemented full body VR in my program this year, and full body VR is really uncommon typically, because there's a lot of complexities in terms of the joints and how using your hands can be distorted at times. And the code for it to track your body the entire time, that's why a lot of times they will just use, as common practice, the motion controllers themselves in space, and you just kind of get reference off of that. But I felt that my project really lent itself towards being immersive and really feeling like you're actually a part of the environment. So that's why I chose to do full body VR, even though it was more difficult. So I feel like I've been put in a very good position moving forward, because my project is on brain-gut interactions this year. And one of the pillars of that the university is trying to move forward with is brain-gut interactions and the microbiome's purpose in our bodies. And a lot of the research that's been coming out needs those kind of visual aspects to help deliver those messages to both the layperson and those in the field. So my project's really hit a good spot in terms of relevance, and also I have the know-how now to move forward with different projects and brainstorm. Moving forward, I hope to add AI into my research and add aspects of that, and just continue to use computer science as a great tool to combine all the efforts of medicine and biology into something that's presentable and digestible for everyone. I think that computer science is really a major part of society, as its technological advances are continually growing. And the way that I fit into that is, as a bioinformatician, a lot of my work is going to be a combination of the more medical side and the more technological side of things, and using the merits of both to have better advancements in the end, and just find new opportunities in the world, and where certain issues are lacking, technology can help and grow upon those issues. So in the health science program, we really focus on taking aspects of every stream. So there's the HSOC stream, the biomed stream, and then the bioinformatics stream. So I've always had the philosophy of taking best parts of every single stream and trying to incorporate that into my philosophy and how I think about the world. The HSOC perspective is more sociological and behavioral, so that's how I kind of think about my project in terms of how is it going to affect people, how are people going to react to certain things, and what's the best way to storytell. In terms of the biomedical aspect, it's always trying to maintain the integrity of the science and simulating things as accurately as possible. And from the bioinformatics perspective, it's about writing good code and being able to synthesize work that makes your work more efficient and overall just be able to disseminate information more effectively.